Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsyreplays. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a look at the top 5 fastest reloading tanks in World of Tanks Blitz, and that is just the base reload, not stock. We're not going stock guns, we're going the full shebang, because obviously some stock guns are quicker reload than the fully upgraded gun, but we're not doing that. We're just going to go with the top guns as such. But first up is the Valentine 2, 3.08 seconds. Now this tank is very unique, just like the Panzer B2, because it has preferential matchmaking. So when you are playing this tank, you will always be top tier unless you're in a platoon with a different tank, unless it is the Panzer B2. It is always top tier, and it's a very strong tank. Next up at number 4, it is the T15, a tier 3 tank, and the reload on this is 3.03 seconds. It's a decent tank. It is a very decent tank. When I first got hold of this tank, I really enjoyed it. Even though it is only a tier 3, it can still be fun. Obviously nowadays you don't really see much of them, because it's only tier 3. I mean, this was one of the first battles I've had in the tank for a very long time. Nowadays it is a collectible. Of course, it used to be a premium tank, but now it is a collectible, so a lot of people have sold the tank for gold. I've kept mine. I mean, I've kept my tank, and it is, I don't ever play it, don't get me wrong, I don't ever play it, but as for reload, I love these reloads, like the pew pew, the quick firing reloading guns. I enjoy these tanks, I really do. And the T15, this is probably why I've always enjoyed the T15. Doesn't have much armor, it really doesn't have much armor at all, but you know, it's got the reload, the penetration, it's got AP, APCR, sorry. Now some of these tanks in the top 5, does have the adrenaline as well, which makes you reload even quicker. But some of the tier 3s, you can only fit a couple of equipments, and the adrenaline isn't one of them. So bear in mind also, all these tanks in this video, I'm not running I'm running the rammer, sorry, but most of these, because of the reload is so short, I would probably run calibrated shells, because it doesn't make that much of a difference at all. Now number 3 is of course the Kenny Otsu. Now the Kenny Otsu is, well, we know what the Kenny Otsu, there's really no need to talk about the Kenny Otsu. The reload is 2.94 seconds on the Kenny Otsu. Now this is a tank that will never be back for sale. It will never be back. It's OP in certain ways, it's OP, and mainly that is the reload and the DPM. Other than that, it doesn't have too much going for it. It doesn't have good penetration on your standard AP, so you have to fire a lot more of the premium AP than the standard AP, because of that penetration just sucks, especially when you are coming up against tier 4s. Other than the DPM, the reload, it has nothing. I mean, 2.9 seconds reload, and it is an auto loader with what, 0.7 seconds in between each clip. It has the four shells, so you're literally firing constantly. You are constantly firing. You can see there, fire, 2.7 seconds for your whole intra clip. That's not even I mean, that's quicker than most other tanks in the game just to reload the intra clip. Absolutely insane. It is a fun tank to play, very fun tank to play. Unfortunately, those that don't have the Kenny Otsu most likely will never ever be able to get the Kenny Otsu. Now this poor guy at the end in this battle, he's actually going to complain, pointless, rigged, pay to win games. I mean, there's only really me in the premium tank. I mean, he's even in a premium tank. So yeah, GG. But yeah, if you see a Kenny Otsu, if you are playing lower tiers and you see the Kenny Otsu on the enemy team, just get rid of him. Just get rid of him as soon as possible, because even though it doesn't have the armor, the penetration, the DPM will come back to haunt you, and it will clear you. You will be able to clear a tank very, very quickly with that reload. So if you do find a Otsu, if you are playing these lower tier tanks and you do find a Otsu, just make sure that you get rid of this tank as soon as possible. So we're just going to watch the rest of this game here, and of course it's one of the easiest tanks, if not the easiest tank to ace as well. Very, very, very easy to ace. Almost every other game is an ace. That is all you need. 1000 damage. You don't even need that, to be honest. 800 damage with 3 or 4 kills is just about enough. So moving on to number 2 on the list, and it is this tank right here, the Ram 2. 2.86 seconds reload, and again, this is a tier 5 tank. This is the only Canadian tank in the game. Again, I used to love the tank. In fact, I actually won my Ram 2 back in the days when I think Aminette was doing giveaways on the ice event that she was doing, or something like that, and I remember winning the Ram 2. But nowadays you can't win the Ram 2, which is unfortunate. You have to wait for it to come back for sale, but it's a really, really enjoyable tank. It doesn't have the much armor. Of course, it doesn't have much armor. It has troll armor, so when you are against tier 4, you can get the odd bounce, but it's all about that reload. 2.8 seconds, and of course you can get that down to 2.5 seconds if you are running the adrenaline, and you can clear tanks very, very quickly. Now, I will probably do a video on the Ram 2 because it's been a while since we played this tank. It's been a while since we have reviewed it, and being the only Canadian tank in the game, I think it warrants a video for that tank. But the fastest reloading tank in the game at 2.7 seconds is, of course, the Matilda Black Prince. 2.7 seconds. It is a British tier 5 tank. Not that good, to be honest. Not like the tier 4 where it is all about the armor. This is all about the reload. It doesn't really have much armor at all, considering it's a Matilda. If you go and play the tier 4 Matilda, and with the armor that tank has got, you'd think that this tank is very, very similar. Yes, it looks similar, it plays similar, but it just does not have the armor that the tier 4 Matilda has. But it does have the DPM, it does have the reload, and at 2.7 seconds reload, you can really pump up that damage very, very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. If you did, hit that subscribe button and the like, and let's get me to 60k subs. I'm meadsy69, and I'll catch you soon. Bye bye. With